Spirit is everywhere if you just happen to look closely. If you just happen to use not the eyes on your face, but rather the eye of your heart. Now, what do I mean by this? When we hear the word spiritual, right, we think of a lot of different things, right? That could be a person meditating, someone doing yoga, someone praying to God, right? It can mean a lot of different things. But if we break it down into its absolute basic fundamental core, spirituality or spiritual is about finding spirit in everything that you do, in everyone that you meet, and in everywhere that you go. Right? When you go to the store and you see people picking fruits and putting it in their basket or putting it in their shopping carts, spirit is there. When you are studying for a class and you're reading text, and it might seem very scientific or mathematical or very left brain, but spirit is there. When you're in your work, right, and you're dealing with your colleagues, and you're working on an assignment together, might not feel very spiritual, but spirit is there. So it's really about finding spirit everywhere, not necessarily putting it into a category of its own, right? Your spirituality is not a part of your life. Your spirituality is your life, right? Everything that you do has a spiritual component to it. Now, why is this important to understand? Well, when we start to see the spirituality in everything, we start to gain an appreciation for, number one, the interconnectedness of everything. But more importantly, we start to see that life has a much greater plan. God has a much greater plan. And that God makes himself available and manifests himself through every single thing in this universe, right? It's not that we have to go to a house of worship or read a specific sacred text in order to develop a connection with God. Feeling God's embrace, feeling his warmth, his love, his guidance, his wisdom can be felt everywhere. So this is such an important perspective to have in life. It's something that I personally have had to work on for a long time, but slowly and slowly I'm starting to see it. You know, that difficult boss that gives you a hard time. Your thoughts and your ego want to label them as being one type of thing. But when you identify with your soul sees the beautiful, gentle, loving being behind those difficulties, right? If you get into an argument with your partner or your parents or your kids, it's easy for you to just notice the part that is attacking you, the part that is yelling back, the part that is giving you a difficult time. But when you have this perspective, you're able to pierce through that. And you're able to see that, you know, in this moment we are arguing, we're not on the same page. But in the end, after all this is said and done, I still love this being. I still love this person because they are a reflection and a manifestation of the divine. So it's so important to develop this quality. And it comes through time. It comes through practice, right? I know in the beginning it can be tough. Your mind will make you start to question things. And the minute you start to train your mind to perceive everything as a spiritual and divine action, that's when your mind will start to fight, right? All this while you haven't questioned it. You haven't looked at it in a different way. The minute you start looking at it in a different way, your mind and your ego will start to question it. And it will start to attack that. And it will start to make it seem ridiculous that you would find spirituality in a dog drinking water from his bowl on the street. But therein is God. Therein is a spiritual quality. So spirituality is there for all of us. It doesn't mean that only those who dedicate themselves and shave their heads and wear a certain colored robe, it doesn't mean that only those individuals can benefit from spirituality. We all can benefit from spirituality, no matter where we live, no matter how busy we are, no matter the lifestyle we live, as long as we are able to be aware of all the signs around us. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it instructive and informative. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. Please also drop a like if you liked the video and consider becoming a subscriber. I'm always trying to produce these videos on a weekly basis and really just trying to shed more light as to how we can incorporate spirituality into our daily life, because it is life. So with that, I wish you a wonderful day and week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you next time.